welcome to your Daily Boost 365 podcast. This is episode 20. Are you pouring into everyone else versus yourself? My name is Erica Vassal. I'm an entrepreneur with over 30 years of experience. I'm here with my dear friend, Texroy Elliott. And if you are a longtime listener, you know that I'm going to say that he is the smartest man that I have ever met. So he's got a lot to say on this today. So welcome, Texroy.
Man, such a big compliment. That's a big compliment. Well, like I always say, it's the beautiful and intelligent Erica Vassal. Do what you do.
All right. Thank you. All right. So are you pouring to everyone else versus yourself? And I will say that I don't know about men, okay, but I do know that I work with a lot of women and I see what's happening, they can't work on their business because they have to do this, they have to do this, they have to do this. And, they're putting everyone else before them. And I don't know what you might think about this, but I think they feel guilty sometimes for taking out time of their day so that they can work on their business or do something for themselves, whether it's exercise, go to the gym or even go get their hair or nails done. I think it's guilt. They feel like they should be nonstop in whatever mode, it's wife or mommy or, that type of thing. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, it's just like you said. Uh, Sometimes we forget ourselves because we want to please others. But you can't please nobody till you please yourself. So when you try to please everybody, then you will last. Lots of time we burn ourselves out that way. So you gotta be real careful with that. Yeah. Again, can't please you can't please nobody till you please yourself. Because if you ain't well, then how you gonna make sure anybody's well? You know what I mean?
True, true. I remember when Grace was really little and I wanted to go to this conference and I felt guilty to leave her. She was like 2 or 3 and I felt like I shouldn't go. And I knew that if I went, that I would be surrounded by people that would lift me up. And I knew that I needed that for the position I wanted to achieve in the direct sales company I was with. But I felt like a bad mom for leaving, but I did go and all was well. And I continued to go after that. I realized that it's okay. It's okay to take time for you. It's okay to want to do things, without your family. Right. And, for me and you, I like to talk, you like quiet and you like your quiet time. Right. And that's like your boundaries. I think that we all should set these type of boundaries too within our relationships, our friendships, our business. I think those boundaries are important to have. So number one, people know where you stand. Number two, that you are pouring into yourself and getting your needs met too. What do you think?
Good point. In real life, you have to put you first. I mean, you have to put you first because you have to make sacrifices. You got like you got an example with Grace, right? That's your little baby, and they say put your kids first. But in real life, we have to put ourselves first. I mean, whoa, because it's balance. It's balance to put yourself first. Make sure you okay. Because if you sick, how you gonna take care of anybody? How you gonna take care of your kid and all that? You got to heal. You got to put yourself first so you can heal before you can do that, right?
Yeah.
So in life, we got to make sacrifices, even when we have kids that we supposed to put first. But in real life, we don't put them all the way first. They're second because if you don't get up and make sure you eat, who's gonna do it for you? If you don't go
Right.
take a shower, who's gonna do it for you? So we make sacrifices. You know what I mean? It looks like we putting others first, and some people do put others first. But when they do, trust me, they burn themselves out because then they don't make no time for themselves. If you don't make no time for yourself, that's a good way to burn yourself out. So
Yeah.
me personally, I believe in put myself first. Uh, Anything else is second. You know what I mean? No matter how we want to look at it, a lot of parents be like, well, my kids come first and this come first. But in real life, just think about it. You put yourself first. I mean, you could have a young kid, like maybe a 2-year-old. They ain't
Mhm.
gonna make sure that you eat. They ain't gonna make sure that you got a roof over your head. You know what I mean? So in real life, you have to put yourself first. Put yourself first, then you can take care of what you got to. You know what I mean? Such as your kids and other priorities like your occupation. You know, some people so kind, so loving that all
Mhm.
they think about is putting others first. They care about others feeling so much that they forget themselves. When you do that, and in this world, it's a lot of ungrateful people. I'm sorry to say. And
Yeah.
when you put them first, sometimes you us kind people, we do that so much that we get burnt out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you know, they not appreciating us, going all the way for them, going all the way out for them. So they show us the signs of ungratefulness. Then some of us we be like, man, I'm gonna start thinking about me. You ever hear people talk like that? Like, it's all about me now. Forget everybody. That's because they
Yeah.
buried themselves out from always trying to please others. You can't please the world. It's impossible. Putting yourself first come with loving yourself. Love yourself first. You can't love nobody, in my opinion, until you love yourself first.
True.
Hmm.
And you know what happens if you're always putting your children or someone else or whatever first, you can lose who you are. You lose yourself, right? And one day you wake up and you're like, yo, what do I have to show for my life? Because I've been carpooling and I've been doing all this stuff for
Hmm.
all these years. Many women, I'm sorry to keep saying this about women, but that's who I'm around, all these women, right? Is that they've been doing all this stuff, the PTA, the class mom, this, and then they wake up and it's 20 years later and they're like, oh my gosh, I never got to exercise. I never got to do my hair. I haven't colored my hair or I
Yeah,
haven't done this.
true.
You know, then they wake up and they're
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh. And then you know what, Tex Ray, they think it's too late. It's not too late.
you know exactly what you're talking about. You know exactly what you're talking about when you say, because I see that too. Like, after a while, when a mom or a dad, whoever take care of the kid, and the kid get all grown, they don't want to see him no more. They're like, this is my time. You know what I mean? I've been putting you first for all these years. Now it's my time. So, that comes with balance. You got to always have balance in life. So when everything is so one-sided, it's just a easy way to get burnt out. So you got to always make time for you. And just like you said earlier, you did what you had to do, so you had to let grace stay somewhere else so you can do what's necessary. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and it takes sacrifices sometimes to put ourselves first, but we have to. We have to.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
hope more people will put themselves first. Just like I said in another episode long time ago about the airplane, they always tell you to put your mask over yourself before the child, right? Because they know you're going to be so worried about that child or whatever that you're going to forget about yourself. And it's such a good analogy.
Perfect
Text, right?
example.
Thank you. You talked about burnt out, being burnt out. People will burn themselves out. Like how will they know? Like, what are the signs? They may not even be realizing they're burnout. What would you say?
That when you get frustrated and you're like, man, the
And
hell?
grouchy?
You start looking into it. When you start looking into yourself, you're like, man, where's my time? What I was supposed to do with this, I was supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And you just you feel that frustration, like, damn, I don't get no time. Then you actually start. Some people start complaining to themselves, like, man, I ain't getting no time to do this, and subconsciously we just it is what it is. But put all the weight on that one side, it gets heavy. So
Mhm. Oh,
it's
heavy.
about
That's a
balance.
good say it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's important to delegate some tasks. Like you don't have to do everything yourself, if you need someone to help you with cleaning or watch your kids for a little while so that you can do what you need to do. I have a couple assistants who help me with things and I'll say, listen, I can't handle whatever. Can you please just take care of it. Cause I know when I start getting like, okay, I know it's like, I need to figure this out. Somebody else needs to handle it, or we got to make a better plan, because I don't want to be overwhelmed. And I think that I'm very conscious. I try to be conscious of that if I get overwhelmed, to do something about it, And also, what about men? Do you think it's a little bit different between men and women when it comes to this?
Nope, you still have to stay in balance. It's the same balance. I love that word balance because that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't put everything on one side. It has to be balanced. When it becomes unbalanced, that's where you start looking into it. Like, man, where's my time? When am I going to be able to do this? You hear some moms, and even some moms and dads, they're like, man, I can't do nothing till I send my kid off to college. That's when
Oh,
they
yeah, I
start.
hear that a lot.
When we say put yourself first, of course, we're not talking about being selfish, and it's about balance. So a little time for me, a little time for you, a little time for you, a little time. I mean, it
Mhm.
has to be a balance.
I think it's important to communicate that too. Like, if you have people that you're working with or in a relationship with, communicating that. Like, if you feel it's so unbalanced, like, bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, or if you need some me time, say it. I think that's super important, don't you?
Communication is key to everything. I mean,
Yeah.
without communicating, well, how we gonna understand? I mean, so
Mhm.
it's about communication, and when it comes to these are the two main. I guess that's why we just keep using that as example in relationship and your kids. You can't really get around that, so you have to be smart about how you're gonna balance things. You feel me?
And don't feel guilty about it, because you are worth it, right? Like, we have to, what do you always say, Tex, right? You got to love yourself, right? You got to love yourself enough to put yourself first, basically, is what I'm saying right now. I
Hmm.
changed up what you normally say.
Yeah, you have
All
to.
right.
Just
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say before we go about this? Because I think this is really important. I think a lot of people really put off, pouring into themselves, whether it's for their business or their personal life and things like that. And don't wait. Don't wait. That's my thing. So what's yours?
well, what I do want to say is this though. Knowledge is key to everything. Knowledge is power. The
Yeah.
perfect reason, in my opinion, why you should take some time for you. Erica got this thing coming up May, which is entrepreneur retreat. Hey, you got to treat yourself sometime. I think that'd be a good experience. To learn some new things. Just a whole new experience. So put
Mindset.
yourself first by making the sacrifice to come here for this retreat. Yeah. I'm more than sure you'll leave with something, especially and specifically knowledge. Knowledge is power. So, perfect reason why you should put yourself first in this situation. Try to make the time to come here.
Sorry, you've been busy this week because you're pouring into yourself. You're in the music industry, and you've been at the conference, the
Yeah,
Island Music
Island,
Conference.
it's necessary because it's my career. So these cases you gotta make sacrifices because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When you're trying to build an empire, it comes with making these sacrifices.
I'm glad that we were able to get this done today with you, traveling and doing all that stuff. So pour into yourself, guys. If you don't know where you found us, go to yourdailyboost365.com. You can listen to our podcast there, or wherever you're listening to us. Please hit the subscribe button, and don't keep this a secret. Please tell your friends about it. It's for business, it's for personal life. We are here to help you really, truly, to transform and to live your best life. So we will see you next time. Bye.
Later.
Don't forget to hit the bell, hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when our next podcast drops.